guys, it is Wednesday in the afternoon after work. D-Day. We're going to start taking this thing apart and try to get this in. Probably won't finish it tonight, but I'll get a big jump on it. And we're just going to try to take the alternator off, disconnect the battery first. Alternator, bracketry, shroud, fan, water pump, pull the front pulley off, and timing chain cover. Take out the gear drive, put in timing chain, the double roller, put everything back together. So we're going to start taking things apart and bring you back when I got more to show. Alright guys, we're to the point. I got everything pretty much stripped down. I'm going to pull the harmonic balancer off now. I haven't drained the radiator or pulled the water pump. I still have antifreeze in there. I'm just going to pull the balancer off, get rid of a lot of the stuff, and then I can just put a pan underneath and just let it flow and drain it down. Then I'll pop the water pump off, and I can access the timing chain. I'm about 45 minutes into this so far, so everything's going well. Nothing's frozen. Everything's coming out nice and easy, so that's definitely a plus. You know, I gotta clean up and polish a lot of stuff before I put it back. It's gonna take longer to reassemble than actually disassemble. All right, so I'm gonna pull the balancer, and probably next clip you'll see pump will be off, and we'll start pulling the timing chain cover off. All right, we got to it. Now we're just gonna try to unbolt it. I gotta put a gear puller on the lower gear and try to pull it off. Crank snout carefully, very, very carefully. Alright guys, I'm gonna pull this bad boy out. No more. What's up guys, this is like day 2 of this journey. Yesterday, which was Wednesday, I stripped everything down. I got it down, I got the timing gear off, and then proceeded to try to install the new one. Emphasis on try. And where we are right now is a fucking timing gear that won't fit. It doesn't line up. Nothing moved on the motor. I took the gear right off. The crank didn't spin. The camshaft didn't spin. I have one keyway on the bottom gear, and you have the top sprocket with your 3 bolt holes and your alignment pin, your dowel pin hole. Well, you put them all together, and you go to put the chain on, and it's off. The points are kind of like this. So I know they have to be 6 and 12, but since nothing was changed, it should not automatically be where it's got to be, but it's not. So I was looking up, I called my cousin, I explained the situation. He seems to think that I might have to turn the crank a little bit and try to get those to line up. He thinks that with the gear, I don't know what the hell he was trying to explain to me yesterday. I just a little frustrated. So, like I say, it's in now. I just placed it to see where it is in conjunction with the other one, and the dots don't line up. But like I said, I pulled the old timing gear out and nothing moved. So it should go right back in, but it doesn't. And I've done a couple of timing chains before. I didn't have an issue, but I have also set my number 1 piston at top dead center and made sure I was at a the actual detonation coming up on the compression stroke, where you have your spark, your rotor's pointing at number 1, not 180 off. I've done this before, but this one is weird. Now I don't know now if that timing gear that I put in was set with a 4-degree advance or a 4-degree retard, because I remember those came with, let me see if I can show you. these came with an offset bushing so you could advance or retard it, but this is looks like it's straight in the middle, so I don't think this was the issue. I don't know what's going on, so we're gonna dick with it a little bit more, and hopefully we sort this out. And I don't know, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna dick with it. I'm gonna try to turn the crank. I'm gonna pull the plug, see if I'll put a straw down in the cylinder bore, see if I'm up all the way up at top dead center. For every 2 revolutions on the crank, you do 1 revolution on the cam. So either I can be 180 off or 180 on where it is now, but we'll see. Alright, I just turned the crank just a smidge and I got the dot pointed up. This might have been 4 degrees off either way with this old timing gear, because like I said, nothing changed. So I just I ever so slightly turned the crank and got the dot looking up at the 12, and the cam was already pointing down at the 6. So 12 and 6 is what they want, what they want, and we have it. It went in 3 minutes, not even 3 minutes, and I had spent quite a bit of time yesterday trying to get this to go. So, cooler heads prevail. If you're anything like me and you get frustrated with something, then I stop breaking shit and taking hammers to things, and then I end up having to fix 10 times the things that need to be fixed because I destroyed everything. I have a very short fuse, especially when it comes to stuff like this. So, last night I shut everything down and walked away from it. Turned that a little bit, and it's in. So now we're just going to proceed on putting everything back together now. Woo! Alrighty, we're at the point where we're going to start reinstalling everything. I'm taking the time now. I'm just cleaning up. I'm cleaning up all the pulleys and polishing them up. All the bracketry, and cleaning all the the gasket mating surfaces. I'm getting all that stuff cleaned up. I have to get a new seal, front seal. Gonna get one of those gasket, water pump gasket. That should take care of business over here. That's all cleaned up too, ready to go. So a lot of the paint's starting to chip off the block and heads and stuff, but I'm just gonna have to live with it. I'm not gonna repaint this block. And I hope this will make things a little better for the ride. I was kind of been wondering, maybe with that timing being off a little bit with the gear, maybe that's why this thing was running a little odd, so to speak. Maybe it'll run a little tighter now. So, next video you'll see I'll have the timing chain cover on, harmonic balancer, and bottom pulley. And I'll bring you back when I have more to show. Alright, a little addendum here. You could see the metal eating away from here. This is where the roller wheels were banging up again. I had a cam button in here. You can see where the cam button was pushing up against the cover, but this was actually chewing up the cover a bit, one of the gears. So that might have contributed to some of that metal in the pan too. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but there's a bit taken off from here, so I don't know. It's not through, but it is definitely got some wear there, so that might have contributed to a lot of that metal in the pan, the gray metal. But I think it was one, but definitely was doing something. What's up, guys? It is now Friday. The saga continues. I mean, they don't carry small block pot. Any of the pot stores that I go to now, everything has to be ordered. AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Advanced. So I needed the gasket kit, and I went to AutoZone, and they were like, "Oh, we can get it here tomorrow." And I was like, "Well, that's not going to work." So then I called O'Reilly's, and they said that they could get it later in the afternoon. So at least they got it the same day, but it was just later on. So it's a Felpro gasket, and it comes with the water pump gasket, the lower time and chain rubber gasket, and the new front main seal. So, we're going to start the process of reinstalling everything. Everything's been cleaned. I cleaned all the pulleys, and I cleaned all the mating surfaces last night, and I just spent a whole bunch of time cleaning stuff. So now we're going to start reinstalling stuff. So it's in, like I said, maybe in a video from yesterday. I don't quite recall what I videoed. The time and chain's in. Everything's okay. Seems okay. Lines up right. I cleaned the block up a little bit where I couldn't get a rag in before. So the front of the block, I got some chipping paint, but that's not bad. But at least the block, all this was all, your normal grime. We're going to call it grime. It's all cleaned up. So now, wish me luck. We're going to try to get this time and chain cover back in. Unfortunately, I have to lower the pan a little bit. So I got to get under there and loosen some of them bolts, and hopefully that gasket will drop enough where I can get the new cover in. I am going to use, on most of the gaskets, I am going to use wherever you are. I hope I have some still, because that's going to suck. It's going to suck big time. Oh, I do. I use this on all my gasket mating materials, the shellac, and I've never had issues with it. The oil pan, I'm going to have to use black RTV. I got to really jam it in there and make sure that I get a good seal. Alright, so that's 2 minutes of me yammering away, so wish me luck. Alright guys, time and chain cover's on. Nice. I'm in a shitload of trouble right now. Decided to put the harmonic balancer on, lube up the shaft, lube up the seal, as I've always done. Align the crank with the little Woodruff key. Get it going by hand, make sure. Nice, beautiful. Get the bolt. Grab a washer. Start working it in slowly. Starts to go. It has its resistance as normal. Then all of a sudden the bolt gets really loose. And I'm like, well, that was easy. And then I take a second look down in there, and I'm like, well, I'm still almost 2 inches off from the cover. So now in your mind, you've already processed that you're screwed, but the other side of your brain is telling you, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay. And here I am, just tightening and tightening and tightening and tightening, and it's just going nowhere. So 7/16 20. It's kaput. Now I'm hoping and praying that it's just this bolt and the thread just finally let go. And I mean, who knows? It's a 1973 block. I'm pretty sure it's original. Everything's original to the car, including this bolt. And I know we rebuilt it, me and cousin Joe. And I've taken this apart to put the gear drive in. I took it apart initially to put the cam in, then I put a gear drive in. So this has been taken apart multiple times, and now I guess the final go. So I'm hoping that just the thread on the bolt let go, but here we go in the back of your head, Mr. Reality's knocking, saying, yeah, you stripped out that crank snout. So screwed.